Yeah, it's scary.
It is scary. I got that new credit card and I get a notification on my phone like literally 5 seconds after I like swipe the thing. It's frightening. But that's good though. If I
Hmm.
ever do get one and it doesn't do the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't do the thing.
Oh, and I didn't do the thing.
Yeah.
uh, quote unquote, we live, baby.
Yeah.
What's up, people?
It's my catchphrase. We are not live yet with Christopher Pate,
No,
so
not yet.
it's just me. It's just me and
Chris,
T
like I
Phase.
said, Chris is hashtag grinding. That's what he does. Uh-oh. Speak of the devil.
Oh,
So just as
Yo.
soon as I was cussing you.
Well, if I could figure out the damn computer stuff, it'd be all right. But I'm not very good with this shit. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that figures. All the most talented car audio people I know are garbage at computers.
Nope, not no good.
So you were delivering a truck and then stopped for Chick-fil-A, obviously.
No. I wish I would have stopped for Chick-fil-A. That's from lunch today.
Is it all melted and watery?
Yeah, it's watered down Dr. Pepper. It tastes the best.
oh.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if non-watered down Dr Pepper tastes good.
That's actually a good
Joking.
That's a good point.
People just walking in and out,
Well, I have employees. They work it. They have to clock out.
doing
So.
business. Oh, they clocking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
live.
I'm trying to figure out how to monitor the comments on the computer, but I don't think I can figure it
No, you can't do that.
Yep.
out. So what kind of were you delivering, like a customer's truck? Is that what was happening?
Oh man, it was one of the guys. They'd done what did they do? Oh, they did a radar detector, one that custom installed radar detectors. A new Escort CI Max, I think is what it was. So, or Max 360 or something like that. So, one of the guys that finished one of those up. So they were delivering it, and I had to drive it all the way back to the retail store. So,
10-4. So look,
Yep.
while we're getting everybody jumping in the chat here and stuff, why don't you tell the people who you are, man? Let's pretend you're at a job interview. Give us your resume.
a job interview.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm Chris Pate. Been doing this for 25 years. I own Mobile Toys Inc. in College Station, Texas. I own MTI Acoustics in College Station, Texas. 40 world championships here and there, and 2 USAC and IASCA. Installer of the year in 2017. We were retailer of the year in 2018. So we've done a few things here and there, and we build lots of cool vehicles and hot rod interiors, and then lots of sub boxes. That's what we do. Lots of them. So
I was telling Skip before you got here that that's sort of your specialty right now with MTI, right? Is your underseat stuff.
that's really what it is. We saw a need. We decided to fill it. There's a lot of guys that built some really nice underseat boxes, and built some cool boxes. I mean, I could go down the list of guys that are just really cool, but I mean, there's nobody doing what we were doing or what we've decided to do, and it's cool, man. It's it's an upscale box. We do upscale leather stitched fitted enclosures. And they're mass marketed. We just hired a distributor for Canada, or we're about to. We hadn't hired them yet, but we've been doing interviews for them. We did hire our first distributor in Texas. So yeah, I mean, we shipped right at 1,500 units this past year. So,
What? Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
We're finishing up our first big distribution order. I think it's 100 units. So that's actually what I'll be doing tonight when I get off the phone with you guys is running parts on the CNC for a truck I'm building, and then helping my wife and helping my wife pack boxes to ship to freight out tomorrow. So
Dude, that's awesome. Do you have like a new website dedicated to the MTI, or is it just Facebook?
We do. No, we do have a website. It's mtiacoustics.com, and it's dedicated to our online sales and community, and it's our online marketplace. It's expanding. It's right now it's dedicated to our enclosures and the lines that we're partnered with to do our enclosures, which is like JL Audio, Focal, Moscani, B2 Audio, and Encore are the lines that we partnered with to do this. So it's cool. It's been, mostly the really nice upscale underseat downfire boxes. We've gotten into the forward fire, what I call higher output or SPL type boxes.
Yeah.
And they've done really well. And so we're going to have a whole section on the website dedicated to that. We've partnered with B2 Audio on this deal. Andrew and Jay have been super awesome to us, and we're going to partner with them, and we're going to really push. That's going to be our big push with them. I mean, we've had great luck with the woofers. They're phenomenal. So, I mean, they get down and they hold together, and that's kind of the two most important parts. If you're going to have a woofer that's going to be really moving a lot of air, it's got to be able to get down, dissipate heat, and it's got to hold together, and it sounds good, and that's important. So, I mean, we've been super fortunate with that. So that's cool, and we're got some competition vehicles and some show trucks that'll be coming out here in the next few months. So it'll be a lot of fun. So.
Are those boxes? Do you get different flavors, like sealed and ported, or are they?
Yeah, they can be sealed or ported. It depends, what the customers are wanting to do and what the woofer can do. We have our own computer modeling software we use, and we look at what the woofer can really do. And like I tell most people, there's a lot that can be said about whose boxes sound like what and what they do, and I could go into that all day. But the one thing I'll tell people is that you don't sell 1,500 boxes in a year unless it sounds good. I mean, it can look awesome all day long, but if it doesn't jam, you ain't going to sell a bunch of boxes. And secondly, if your box is built right, you won't warranty woofers. And we've warranted, in the past year, we warranted 0 JL Audio woofers. None. I don't think we warranted anybody's woofers. We haven't had a single woofer. I think we had one pair of Rockford woofers that we did for a guy come back, and it wasn't because the woofers gave out. It was because they had a manufacturer's defect on the surround, and we just took care of it for him. But so we've been, we're super blessed. We got a great team. It's definitely not just me. I've got a great group of guys that we work with, and girls. So we got a whole team here, a whole mix of people, and we're blessed, man. I mean, I can't really, lots of cool things to do and options with our enclosures, and it allows customers to build them the way they want them. So
what other stuff? It seems like I overheard you at Aggieland saying something about if it's something we make over and over again, we just put it in the CNC and we can mass market it. Is there other stuff that you do besides enclosures?
Yes, so we do pretty much all for Fords, especially Ford Super Crew trucks. We do all the installation hardware you'd need for what I would consider something more than your standard installation fare. So we do all our CNC speaker brackets, and we're not talking thin ABS brackets. We're talking full, 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch thick PVC speaker brackets that bolt directly in, no cutting, no drilling. We send them out. You can bolt your speakers right in. We don't send them out with piercing screws. We put in nut certs. So it's, as good as the most high-end custom installation, but a normal person can bolt it in and go. We do amp racks for those trucks that are pre-done. They bolt right in. They don't require that you have to remove any of the rear foam, so you don't get any of that road noise. And you don't have to drill into your truck because, like I tell most people, the big thing for us is that, if you look at a BMW or Mercedes, you're going to buy you spend, $75, $80, $100,000, and you get a heck of that's a luxury car. Well, guess what? All these Chevys and Fords and Ram trucks, they all cost $70, $80, $100,000.
Yeah, they do.
They're the new luxury vehicle, man.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I had to cut it out. Gary Bell was trying to call me. I'll have to call him back. So they're the new luxury vehicles. So, you have to treat them as such. And I just think that a lot of people, they don't treat those vehicles that way. They say, it's just a truck. We get 3 or 4 trucks a week that come in to be redone that somebody else did, that some other shop did somewhere else. And it's just like, you look at it and you go, you did this to somebody's $60,000, $70,000 vehicle, and it's disheartening, And so that's what we do. The rest of the stuff that MTI Acoustics does is that we have some prepackaged systems that we design that are easy drop-in systems for those vehicles that are stuff that we've done over and over with and had success, that's the other part of what MTI Acoustics does is is building our online marketplace, to where we're kind of like, where you have some of the other online places that are really dedicated to SPL and getting loud. We're dedicated to, you can get loud with our stuff, but we're dedicated to sound quality for trucks. And that's really what our website's dedicated to. It's sound quality for trucks.
Well, it is Texas.
It is Texas. So we see a lot of them. So we're kind of in a nice spot anyways,
How far back do you go on the trucks?
So right now we go all the way back. So depending on the what it is, like F-250s, you're going all the way back to 04. F-150s, we go all the way back to 09 right now. So
what year's your truck, Brett?
2011, but it's an extended cab.
We do one for that one.
Oh,
we do one for that one.
See, because I got all kind of stupid. They got the brackets and they got all kind of nonsense underneath there. I'm like, ugh. I don't think I could.
We
do
don't
something.
do a bunch of them, but we do actually have one for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do have one for that truck. So.
Ooh.
Hell.
It's funny you mentioned like the new market. You said you felt you saw the need for it. It's like the truck has become like the new sedan for like everybody. It's become a family vehicle now. Like they're making them nicer. They're making them. It's not just a pickup truck anymore.
Yeah, dude.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they've definitely come a long way. I think that that's what you're seeing the automakers go to. You're seeing as they change stuff and they get away from, they're not doing as many cars. You got Ford is going to discontinue cars entirely and just do that. They'll have the Mustang and that'll be it. And you're seeing Chevy do the same thing and GM do the same thing. And you're like, why? It's like, oh, well, it's because everybody's going to trucks and SUVs,
Right.
And so you can't beat Toyota at that game. So let Toyota and Honda have it, and go build trucks,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, like somebody mentioned, trucks they cost a lot now too. You can't get a pickup truck under 30,000. It seems like they just
no.
And that's why, and that's why though, because everything has every feature now. You can't just get it. I don't even think you can get like a roll up window anymore. Like
no, like in a fleet vehicle.
Yeah.
A fleet vehicle maybe.
Like
I think you can. I think the Colorado, like a new Colorado, you might sneak in under 30.
That's not a truck though, but
that's a truck.
Let's be honest.
I'll
dude,
beat
have
you
you
to death.
seen put a Colorado next to like a Silverado, the last generation, like 2 generations ago Silverado? And
the same size.
It's really close.
It is.
Like I have one. I used to have a 95. It was a shop truck, and dude, that thing was. I pulled it up next to one of the guys' Colorados when they came out with the new Vice. I was like, Jesus, this truck is so big for a mid-sized truck.
Well, I also remember like a Toyota, like a Tacoma, used to be like a mid-sized truck,
Yeah.
And now they're humongous.
Yeah.
They're huge.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, if I got another truck, I loved my Colorado. If I got another one, I would want like an older one just to get like a reasonable size. Like I can't get a new truck these days into my garage. You kidding me?
Yeah, no way, dude. No way.
So how many like of the newer trucks, like I don't know, last 3 or 4 years that come in, and not just trucks, but anything that's like 3 or 4 or 5 years old, do you wind up changing the head unit out on?
Man, almost none. Like, especially
with
with all the interfaces now, there's no reason to. If you know how to, I mean, and that's the thing, man. Most of these things done in the last 3 to 4 or 5 years have every feature that the clients want. They play their phone. They do Bluetooth. They have CarPlay. They have Android Auto. So they have everything and they work, and they haven't broke yet. So the problem you run into is, customers don't want to change out that big panel interface. And as cool as an Alpine ILX F309 is, or, whatever, a Kenwood radio, at the end of the day, they, as the best interface that is out there, doesn't interface as good as those factory interfaces do. So clients are reluctant to give that up unless it's just broke and they don't want to fix it. So, at the end of the day, you've got to find the right parts to interface. And that's the cool thing, man, is there's a lot of good parts out there now between the NAV TV interfaces, the PAC interfaces, the Rockford interface, the iData Link interface. There's so many good parts, and it's really disheartening because you're like, wow, dude, you got all these parts, and then you see some of the stuff, the way people do it, and you're like, what in the world are y'all thinking? Why don't you tell these people the right pieces, man? I think there are times when you have to use another way to do it, but there's other times where you're like, man, you could have just done it this way, man, and your life would have been easier. The install would have sounded better, and everybody would have been happier. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. So
that was actually Skip's question. We were talking about that before the show. He wanted to get your input on that, but
I mean, everything's nice now too. It's not like a like an old Crown Vic, just some big square. Man, look at like the new Dodge. Didn't it have like a 12-inch screen or something ridiculous now? Or like it's just a huge Tesla.
Oh
screen.
Yeah, the Ram one is massive, and it's actually like almost. It's too much. It's too much, but if you want the most over-the-top display in a truck, that's the one to go get. I
want it.
I want it too.
It's over the top crazy. I mean, it's a Tesla display in a truck, man. I mean, it's a Tesla display in its truck.
I mean, you got a pickup truck. You know you're gonna get some dust in there. I feel like, man, it's just gonna get scratched and just stuff on it.
They put so we've had like I guess 10 or 20 of them in now, and it's they do a pretty good job with a protective overlay on it, which I'm actually surprised it's as glossy as it is, but they do a pretty good job with the protective overlay on it, and keeping it nice. So
you guys in the chat, I don't think Chris can see any of the comments, so
no, I'll try to. Y'all can make fun of me though. It's cool. I'm totally
I'll try to relay anything. If anybody has any questions for Chris, I'll try to relay for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. No, I can't see anything. I was actually surprised I even figured this out.
I was actually surprised you figured it out. But that's neither here.
I was gonna try to log in as I was running back over. I was like, no, I'd probably get slayed for trying to do this while I'm driving.
Probably.
But I was trying to be on time. So
no, we appreciate it. We were actually.
Anytime
oh, that's true. You beat us in. I mean, you got joined in right when we jumped on.
We was like, we're just gonna go live, and all of a sudden, it was a good one.
Andrew Showers says he has a question for you. Spit it out, Andrew.
It's gonna be nonsense.
So, Chris, another thing Skip was asking me is if you have an SPL background, like most of us got started in SQ as SPL, like street beaters and stuff.
I don't, and
it's a shame.
I really don't. I never did. I came up doing SQ
and the stream now.
I came up doing SQ, and I've really gotten into being a little bit loud here in the last few years, and I'll pat Kendrick Rogers on the back for that. It hadn't even crossed my mind to build anything loud ever because, I mean, it was funny. So, okay, back up. So I've been in I compete in the expert class in IASCA and USAC, and that's what I did for years. And so in USAC, you had to do SPL. So I was always super proud of my Suburban and my Honda because I could crank out a 150 in either one of those vehicles. And so that was always my thing. It's like you gotta be able to pop up way bigger numbers so you can make sure you got more points than the other guy. But I've never had what I would consider like a real SPL background, and never did like a really, really loud vehicle trust me, I know there's way louder vehicles than some of the ones I've done. Don't get me wrong, in no way do I think that mine are super loud, but I've never done what I would consider an SPL sort of style vehicle. So Kendrick's was really the first. And thank God that we got Ed on staff, because Ed has a background in it and I don't. So I'm a math guy, I'm an engineer and a designer, and that's what I do. And so it was fun building that one with him because there was a lot of engineering stuff that went into doing that enclosure the way we did, and making it work in such a really small place, and still trying to make it musical, because as much as he wanted it to be loud and to do and to be able to do a 60. He still wanted to be musical, and to me, those are two different things. In my mind, it's like, you want to be loud, well, then you've got all this math you want to do. You want to find, the in-car tuning frequency, and transfer function, all these things, and it has nothing to do. If the car says it needs to it needs to be at 56 hertz, then it's at 56 hertz. It says
right.
That's what you do. It don't matter. Period. In the story. In Kendrick's vehicle, it had to be musical, so it had to play low. It had to be able to do all those things. So Kendrick's was really the first one we got into. And then from there, we were doing the truck boxes, and they were starting to take off. And then, of course, when you do that, guys want to do the multiple sub 4 fire 8s and all that jazz. And so you have to, thankfully Ed had some background in it. It rubbed off on me. And, so now, we feel like we got a firm grasp. And, if you sit down and stay doing the same thing over and over again, you ain't never going to learn anything anyway.
I'm going to buy Ed a beer at Aggieland this year.
You should buy him beer. So really, because of Ed, we really kind of have gotten into where we do more of this. And I don't know that we'll ever build an SPL vehicle per se, but we do like to build loud vehicles. We have a good time doing it. We've probably done, 10, 20 of them now at this point, that are really loud, whether they're donks or whether they're walled vehicles or whether they're slabs. We've done quite a few really loud vehicles where we got done with it. We're like, you know what? That's retarded loud.
That thing is wanging.
That thing's wanging. I was like, and it's cool, man, because, as much as everybody knows me as, hey, he's the SQ guy and all that jazz, we really build some really loud vehicles. And, I ain't none of them going to go out there and put it and whoop nobody in the lanes. And I ain't even ever going to act like that. But I can tell you, we can build a loud vehicle if we need to.
Yeah.
It can get down. It ain't going to whoop nobody in the lanes, and I ain't trying to. So y'all can have all that. But I do like going out and hanging out with everybody. And it's cool because you can involve yourself in the conversation and not be like, hey, he's the guy that's on B2 audio that he's just an SQ guy. He don't know nothing.
Well, yeah, it also helps that y'all have some more SPL oriented, not SPL oriented, but SPL capable gear in B2 that y'all are offering now.
Yeah, it really does. Those guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. They have been on us for the last few years, and it really has worked out great. And we're bringing more and more of it in, the stuff just works really well and doesn't come apart. And that's the big thing, because the big thing with, like I said, the big thing with that gear is it's got to hold together, it's got to handle heat well, and it's got to be able to sound good. And it does all three things, which is what you want. So.
Your bread and butter is like Focal, Mosconi, like Orca products, huh?
Yeah, that and jail audio. We do a ton of those, man. I mean, a lot. And we've been with both those companies for over 20 years. So, in one form or fashion, whether I've been as a retailer or as an installer, I don't know that I've ever worked at a shop ever, other than maybe my Circuit City days early on, where we didn't do Focal and jail audio. And so they've been with me a long time. They're good friends. I always say I work for Focal or Orca and do tech support for them. And I designed their line of enclosures and manufacture them here in Texas. And, it's a good deal, and it's funny. You can learn a lot from those guys. I mean, like when we're working on certain things, we have an engineer on staff at Orca, and he has no problem if I run some specs by him, telling me what that woofer will actually do. He has better computer programs than I do, and he can tell me what design will really work the best. So it's handy. So there's some upside to being an SQ geek from time to time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You mean to tell me Circuit City didn't carry Focal? There's no way.
Not back in my day.
There's
man.
No way I didn't believe it. That's why they went under right there.
Yeah, right there.
Oh man, when I was there, it was still shoot, man. That was 24 years ago. That was when it was still awesome. We did back then. We did MTX and Alpine, and MTX made some killer. It was all still American made MTX, and Alpine was the best head unit line on the planet. It was
still pretty awesome.
It's still pretty awesome. Alpine is pretty awesome still. They still make some really good stuff. But back then, Alpine was king.
Oh yeah,
that's
king.
You pay $800 for an Alpine head unit back in the day.
And didn't mind.
Yeah, and didn't mind at all. All you cared about is it had those 6 green buttons. As long as it had those 6 green buttons,
I got a 9887 collecting dust in my garage. I think Skip runs a 9886 daily.
No, I got the 7 in the Civic.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've got 2 7909s sitting in my closet of doom where I keep all my high end old gear.
I think my favorite head unit ever. I don't remember the exact model, but it was the Phantom Face, the one that came out, and did the thing, and then would come back in and would look like you took the face off of it. I can't remember the model number, but that thing was amazing.
Oh yeah, those were really cool. Those were really cool radios.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man, those were neat radios. So
that was the big deal, was that it came back into itself to make it look like you took the face off, so nobody would steal it.
Yeah, that was really cool with that, man. They were good stuff.
Sony had the coolest one. Sony had the motorized one.
Man, y'all don't forgot about the chameleon one from JVC.
What?
The chameleon one, that thing was terrible. All the time.
Chameleon.
And the Kenwoods that flipped around, those were cool for about 9 months, and then
9 months,
the cable would break.
Hey, that's that's a pretty good run these days. That's a pretty good run these days with all the Chinese crap out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking back in the day. We ain't talking new Kenwood, man. I don't think we ever warranty hardly any of that stuff now.
Dude, I cannot stand Kenwood. I don't know what it is. Me and them just do not get along. I've tried a couple models. I can't do it. Well, the single dens anyway. Obviously, the big touchscreens anybody can figure out.
Almost everything we sell is a touchscreen. I think we sell like once in a blue moon, you have someone come in and get a single den, but almost all of them are touchscreen.
Well, y'all fancy, y'all fancy.
We try to be fancy. We try to be.
So I told everybody in the post that you were the man responsible for that center seat Civic that I whore out every year after Aggieland, after I take pictures and stuff. Yeah. So tell us about that thing, man. I mean, you don't have to get all crazy with it, but Skip wants to know how the hell you got the pedals to the center and how do you shift gears?
How does it drive? How does it shift?
Drives like a go-kart. That's what I tell most people. It drives like a normal car. It just stuff's in the center. So believe it or not, nothing's been really moved. So, I mean, it has been. Obviously, the pedals are in the center and the steering column's in the center, but all the actual connection points for that vehicle are at the original factory point on the wall. So the steering column, the beautiful thing about a Civic is the U-joints are actually have enough flexibility to make the turn. So to get it in the center, you have to elongate basically the connection that has the yoke on it about 9.5 inches. So we took the spline off and cut it off, and then got some hardened drive shaft material, steel from McMaster car, and I tacked it on, and went out in the parking lot and drove it around, and it didn't feel weird, and I was like, cool. I took it to my buddy that's an engineering welder, and I handed it to him. I said, here, make sure this never comes apart.
Ever.
Because let me rephrase that. I can make two pieces of metal stick together on a permanent basis, but I would not consider myself a fantastic welder.
Temporarily permanent.
Never coming apart, and I wanted it to look good, so I had him do it. For the pedals, those were actually a little easier. The gas pedals on a cable, I drilled a new hole, made it through the bulkhead, and just moved that and bolted it in with some new mounting hardware, some nut certs and stuff. And then for the brake, that was a little more interesting. We cut the pedal off, extended using a piece of 1-inch square tube, extended it over 12 inches, welded the foot pedal back onto that piece of square tube, and that's it. That's how it's been for, gosh darn it, man, over 10 years now. So right at 10 years now.
Skip, can you share your screen?
Yeah, it's on right now. If you got the video.
Oh, I'm just watching us.
No, it should have.
So, but yeah, we.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. That's how we did that.
Oh my God, the thing is so sexy. It's retarded.
Thank you. We're about to. It's getting.
Oh my God.
It's going to be torn down. I don't even know that it'll be together at Aggieland. It may be together still like that at Aggieland, but it'll probably be torn down. It probably won't even be where anybody can see it. We are going to bring it back out this year.
Like why? Like why though? Why would you tear that down? It's done.
Let it
finish.
sit. I don't leave things alone on a permanent basis. And if I'm going to compete again, I can't come out with the same car with the same install. It's got to be something cooler and crazier. And I've got some ideas bouncing around in my head. I got some engineering buddies with some crazy ideas, and trust me, if you think it's wild now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Let me just buy that thing, and you buy a new car.
That's fine. You won't buy it still for sale.
Yeah, exactly. Just hang on.
Kyle would be happy if I buy it.
Pump your brakes. Let me buy that thing. You can pick another. I'll give you my CRX, and y'all can tear that thing up.
Right on. Yeah.
So am I correct in saying that car, the Civic, is undefeated?
It has never been beat in the present form that it is. So with that paint job on it, that paint job was done in 2007. Me and Gary, and that happened when I was working. had just moved up to Tulsa, and me and Gary Biggs built that not the version you see now, but another version of the car, the one that was in, I don't know, 2 or 3 car audio electronics magazines ago, a long time ago, back in 2007. So me and Gary built the car. It had a removable steering column. It had this big, crazy 15-inch woofer in the back and this really over-the-top enclosure. It was a completely different car than what it is now. And so the only time it's ever lost with that paint job on it was the very first year I ran it. And we had these prototype amplifiers. What had happened was we originally were supposed to have Audison HV Venti amps in it, and it was all Focal. And then that was the same year that Audison and Focal split as far as being distributed in the States. And so here I am stuck with all these awesome amps that they made, because these were back when Audison was really making the coolest stuff on the planet, amplifier wise back then. And but I'm supposed to be in the booth at CES. Well, basically it was like, well, if you want to be in the booth, you can't have these amps in your car. And I was like, all right, well, we got these new prototype amps that were coming out. And so I ended up with 5 prototype amplifiers in that thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I blew up every one of them.
Nice.
So they had to air freight amps in from France. We ended up going through the lanes that year with 2 of the 4 amps running. We were jumpering stuff over. I know when we ran through the lanes, we actually only ran the 6.5-inch components up front. Still managed to drag that thing across the line and got second, but it was the only year that I've ever lost in the expert class. And I lost to a fantastically awesome vehicle, Larry Stevens' Expedition, which if you've never seen Larry Stevens' Expedition, I think he still has it. And it's a Gator themed vehicle. Man's got more pneumatic doors and switches than you've ever seen in a vehicle. It was, I mean, legit and really awesome build. But that's the only time I've ever lost, and it was running. And I probably should have pulled out, but I've learned my lesson. Then I learned when stuff breaks, you just say no, you're not running through. But that's so, and it stayed that way for a number of years with that install. I didn't change that until I guess 2010 to what it sort of is now. We've rebuilt the dash a couple times, but to the way it looks now for the most part. I mean, it's had the bridge piece with the amps on it at one point, and we've changed it here and there, but in its present form as a center drive car as it is now, it's never lost. So no. So.
I can't imagine that it has. Skip wants to drive his Civic to you and let you do the same thing to him. He's like he doesn't want to mess with time alignment. So
well, believe it or not, even as a center drive car, there is still time alignment that's going to happen.
Stop.
So
what's the point? What's the point of time? What's the point of doing center seat if you still have to use time alignment?
Well, I mean, even so, aligning your voice coils is the most important part, and even having a center seat car, getting the voice coils aligned is not easy. So
you're an engineer, figure it out, man.
Yeah, it sometimes it's easier just to push that button. And
just stack it. Yeah, that's true. Just stack them concentrically or something.
Yeah,
and just. A lot of our we do have some SQ guys in the chat, but just so people know, like we have a large SPL base, just so they know you have like $25,000 components in that thing, right?
Yeah, we do. We have a set of the Ultimas in there. Yeah, I actually have 2 sets. I have one at my house in the closet and one in there. So I always joke with people, got
a spare
set,
spare 25 grand set.
Yeah, no sweat.
Just in case.
Just in case. You gotta have backups. You're gonna run that thing through. You gotta have backups. You gotta have backups for your backups. So
yeah. Oh my god.
I promise you, it's not the only retarded expensive car audio equipment I've got sitting in my closet.
Oh, I can imagine
most of the time. So
that's bananas. And Mosconi amps and you use an iPad for source.
Yeah, it had the Sony high res player in it. I actually took that out and I'm running direct with an USB to optical converter direct into an aerospace processor now.
Of course you are.
Of course it is.
Why not? Why not? Yeah. If you can, you do it.
I mean, where else can we stuff money into this car? I mean, there's just be like.
Well, I'm about to actually. I'm pulling the motor out, and I'm gonna have them go ahead and do what I always wanted done. I should have had them shave and paint the engine bay, and that's the only thing I didn't have done.
There you go.
So I'm pulling that out. They're gonna shave and paint the engine bay. I'm putting air ride on it and a couple other things. So trust me, I found some ways to throw more money into the darn thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, put a B series while you're at it. I mean,
I'm going to.
K-swap.
It's getting a nice little turbocharged motor put in.
Okay, good. All right, good.
It does go fast.
Dude,
it looks good under there as it is. No kidding. But I mean, it's obvious the money went elsewhere.
You're still gonna keep it automatic?
Yeah, it's got to for the center drive
Right,
to work.
yes.
It's way easier to automate the shifting in an automatic than it is in a stand.
Oh, you never did cover the shifting part.
There's a linear actuator under the car bolted to the subframe, or I guess the unibody under there, and it actually that's how I shift it. So I've done for years.
Where's the shifter?
There's a set of buttons that do it. It's a window. It's actually a window switch, so it goes back and forth. That's how I do it.
All right.
That's
funny. And trust me, after you've been driving it around for 10 years, you know exactly when it's in drive and when it's in park and when it's in neutral.
All right.
All memorized.
All right.
That's awesome.
Like I tell everybody, everyone's like, "Is that safe?" Oh man, it's been that way for. I mean that part of the car's been that way since 07.
Right. It's not unsafe.
It's not unsafe.
Yeah,
Like I said, I've driven it down the highway one time years ago just to see if it would, and it did. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to ever do this again. It made it. I'm alive.
Yeah. Is it registered or?
No, man.
No,
it ain't been registered in over a decade, man.
But it could be.
I mean, theoretically, you could take the tint off the windshield. You could reconnect the e-brake and put the wipers back on it and put some seatbelts in it. And yeah, I think you could probably con someone into giving you a sticker for it, but I don't know that you'd want to.
Right.
I mean, but I guess.
I mean, I would want it.
Yeah.
I don't mean not want.
Dude, if I bought that car, I
would
would do all those things because I would want to drive.
Do it. I'm down.
Put a ratchet.
I'll build something else. I've got other cars in the warehouse that I could build for myself. So
Rob is like, he riding dirty. Man, that thing sits in the center of his shop, like on the showroom floor.
Just spinning on a pedestal.
Yeah, just woo. CES stuff.
It's about to get moved out. My C10 is my C10 from SEMA is going to be taking its place for a little while. So
all right. So speaking of Vegas shows, tell us about CES, man.
It's good. It's good. CES, we worked the booth for Orca, and it was a fantastic event. We built a set of home cabinets for the new M Series Utopia drivers. They were amazing. It sounded awesome. I was thoroughly impressed. I didn't design the cabs. I just built them and finished them. Alan, our engineer at Orca, designed them, and so it's always awesome when you're designing or building something and you're not going to get to hear what it sounds like. And so I'm sitting there the whole time going, God, I hope I did this correct. I mean, it looks awesome, but I was like,
pull those up.
Yeah, is that the ones with the
cross bracing?
Yep.
The stack fab, yeah.
Right,
yeah. So we built that, and we finally get to hear them. And I'm going to tell you right now, Nick Wingate is fantastic, and Alan is fantastic. They made that room sound awesome, especially for being such an awkwardly shaped room. And it sounded really good, and so it was cool. We we had a lot of people come to the booth, had a record year there, and it was cool. On the last day, Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars comes in and hangs out, and I spent next thing I'm spending an hour talking to him. He's telling me, showing me his house and his books and all the stuff he does. And the dude's probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met in my life. And he is an awesome builder, dude. He's got his own machine shop.
Wow.
He was showing a bridge he was building at his new house, and there's all this stuff. And you're like, yeah, most people are like, no, he's having somebody build it. I was like, no, dog. This dude was building this stuff himself. I mean, he's got pictures to prove it. I mean, it's like you look at it, you go, wow, look at this.
Really?
Yeah, dude. The dude is legit. He's almost like a Renaissance man, because the dude he's freaking crazy, dude. I mean, it was one of the best conversations I've had with anybody in a long time.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude. He was just on, and he was he's showing me this alternator he's rebuilding for this basically this paddle wheel, so as he can generate electricity off of this stream. And I was like, get the heck out of here,
dude. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. He goes, why? He goes, I just want to do it. I just want to see if I can do it. I got solar panels and a windmill up there and all that. He goes, but I want to see if I can make this work. I was like, that's awesome, dude. I was like, that's totally something I would do if I was way out in the sticks and trying to be off the grid. So that was cool, dude, man.
I've been thinking about building a windmill to put one my stock alternator when I pull it off to put a high output on and do a
windmill under your hood.
Yeah, no, not under my hood, jackass.
How would they? I don't even know that they could. Can they put that in the rules? No windmills.
Yeah.
I mean, can they?
Your voltage? I don't know.
I don't think they can.
I think you should just to do it. That sounds like
I'm 100%. I'm doing it.
You should do it.
Windmill.
Have it on a post in the back of your bed,
Yes.
You put it in a 30-foot post and it just spins.
Right.
And it has huge blades.
100%.
You should.
I'll have all my friends doing like this number.
You should, just for the sake of doing it.
I got that.
See if they try to outlaw it. That's actually what I do.
Just keep breaking rules until they outlaw it.
I mean, if it ain't in the rule book, you ain't breaking rules. I'm just saying. Now, if they write a rule later, then you abide by the rules. But if that ain't in the rule book, it ain't a rule. There's no gentleman's agreement here, people. There's a rule book, and that's it. And if it ain't in the rule book, it ain't a rule, and it's okay.
I feel like that's how a center seat Civic was born.
That was exactly how that was born. It wasn't in the rules, and I did it, and it was really kind of a joke, and it was a funny joke, and you know, it's worked out pretty well so far.
Yeah, not so funny for all the people you're competing against.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely done its thing. It's definitely done what it was supposed to do.
Stepped on some toes, won some championships. What are you gonna do?
It's done what we designed it to do. But you know, the funny thing is, the guys that it's beat are friends of mine, and guys that I respect immensely. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't be here doing these silly things if it wasn't for those guys. I mean, I mean, you look at Mark Eldridge and Gary Biggs and all these other, you know, awesome, you know, competitors. But I mean, shoot, I've learned so much from Gary Biggs. I wouldn't know half what I know about what I'm doing if it wasn't for Gary. And Mark Eldridge, I spent many, many nights over at his place when I was in Tulsa, helping him with his car and Mark's such a fantastic engineer. I mean, yes, my car beat their cars, but I mean, I wouldn't have been able to build my car if it wasn't for what I learned working with them. And so, you know, it's beat some people, and that's fine. And it's great. But I mean, I consider it an honor, not as much as a mean thing, as much as it's an honor to be able to put your car in the lane with the likes of those guys.
So Mark Eldridge has a full blown NASCAR for anybody who doesn't know.
A NASCAR,
a full blown
NASCAR body.
No,
it's got you could track that. You could take that car.
He has,
and take it around Daytona 500. And that booger will scoot. I mean, it's awesome.
Bro, it is. When he cranks that thing up, I mean, it's something to behold.
It is.
It's a legit NASCAR, like full-on roll cage. You, like, have to climb in the thing over the roll cage. You know what I mean? Like, he did put hinges on the doors and shit, but, like, you still have to climb in this sumbitch.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's nuts. Everyone talks. I always laugh. People talk about how hard it is to get in my car. And I go, have you ever got in and out of Mark's car?
It is not. It's not a car for big boys. It's not a car.
No.
And it's all Class D. Oh my God.
It is. But see, I'm going to tell you right now, Mark. I mean, look, Mark's a smart mofo, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very much the opposite. Let's run the most expensive and best of the best because I mean,
just throw money at it.
Amp up that can't. Well, not throw money at it, but I'm like. Point blank, better amps sound better cable sound better, and that's my world. Mark is not that guy. Mark is the guy he is very much a super smart engineer, and he will take a Class D amplifier and he will work it till it's freaking phenomenal. So, like I said, me and Mark, it's funny, come from two different sides of the world when it comes to audio to a degree. But I will tell you right now, that dude is smart, and he's one of the, if not one of the most decorated, badass competitors ever to do what we do. I mean, Mark was doing this when I was still in high school, you know, and killing it and just killing people. So, I mean,
I have a thread on my Facebook, the most decorated car audio competitors of all time.
Yeah.
And I guess we got to get you on there. I didn't realize you had 40. But yeah, he's up there. He's got like 56 or something crazy. Yeah. And it's not just like I Ask a Mecca. It's like those invitational events, like only you guys get invited to.
I don't ever get invited because I'm the guy that puts them on. Right. I don't ever get invited. I can't enter my own event. That's what I always ask. Someone asks, man, so you ever going to your car? Yeah, that would go over like a fart in church. Yeah, no, I'm never going to enter my own car, Mom. You know? So,
yeah.
You know,
well, speaking of events, tell us about Aggieland. How much money are you in prize money this year?
So this is Mobile Toys Inc.'s 10-year anniversary this year, and we're going to give away $15,000. So we have 2 separate money rounds. We've got our traditional round of 30 that we always do, that we've done for 7 years now, and we will continue to do that just like we always have. That's $5,000 paid out over the top 10 places, and anybody that has ever been knows my checks don't bounce. They're always good. And
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't, but I mean, maybe this year could be your year.
It's not. It's not.
Where's the
be.
first, cuz? Where's the first?
It's not gonna be.
That's right. And so every year we would, over the last few years, we've seen guys. Oh, we want 2 seats come back, 2 seats back. And I'll be honest with you, I'm originally a 2-seat guy. And sorry, my wife keeps chiming in, so I told her just to go pick me up some tacos and burritos. Tacos, man. I have to eat dinner. So anyways, so we wanted to, in my opinion, help bring 2-seat back, help bring it back, help, start growing that side of SQ again. And so long and short of it is, we see guys all the time, man, we want it to be like it was back in the old days. And I'm like, the old days, I mean like 20 years ago. But anyways, nonetheless, we decided, let's do that. Let's make it that way for a weekend. And so we decided we'd do 1997 IASCA rules, bring in old school judges, 2-seat sound. You have to do full install with 2 judges. You have to do SPL and RTA. And it is $10,000 winner take all. Somebody is going to roll away on Sunday with the $10,000 of my money. So,
10 grand.
10 grand.
Anybody watching who doesn't know what he's talking about, 2-seat means that there's a judge in the passenger and driver's seat.
Oh.
Yeah. So you have to be able to make your car image pretty darn well and sound pretty darn good.
Both sides.
For both seats.
Which, trust me, you are not fixing that with time alignment on your processor. So,
dude, I wonder if
challenge.
The MS8s I have on my shelf, I wonder if they're like the premium is going up on them right now.
You'd be surprised. It's a great way to bake a cake. That's what Biggs used to always tell me. And there's a lot of neat things you can do with an MS8 actually. So
I have like 6 of them.
6 of them? What?
Yeah.
That just in case you got backups.
That's what I'm saying. Backups from backups.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of old school judges, man. A lot of old school competitors. Everyone asks, how do you get some of these old guys to drag their cars out of mothballs? Well, if you put up $10,000, that's a great way to do it.
And 2-seat, yeah.
2-seat and 2-seat. So,
will Mike Mineo be there?
Mike Mineo? I don't know. I haven't talked to Mike in a while.
I mean, he's like the king, right? I
have invited him. We invited him. I mean, he's cool. I mean, Mike is very much invited. I made sure that he was on that list. I don't think you could have an old school sound. I mean, if you know somebody that's got a car, you should try to invite him. And that's what we tried to do. And I know Mike still has his ride. And, so, we definitely invite him. I haven't heard from him. I with all the craziness that goes on with all that junk, I really try to keep my head down. I'll be honest with you.
I hear you.
I'm not in that fight.
No, I get you.
So I know Mike gets a little crazy, but I mean, that's Mike. I mean, anybody was around him back in the day knows that's Mike.
I wasn't around him back in the day, but
dude, I mean, I can't tell you some stories, but I could tell you some stories that from back in the day. So, but anyways, I mean, that's Mike. But I mean, anybody that has an old school car, we tried to invite them. Some of the guys don't have their cars no more. Some of the guys still do. There's going to be a lot of new school guys. But what was exciting to me is how many new school guys that have been doing one seat, are in their garages right now, reworking their cars, and getting them ready to do 2-seat. I mean, you got guys like, a lot of the guys from Exxon, Leonardo Leal. You got, a lot of those Mecca guys. Steve Cook's got some cars he's getting ready to go.
Oh, hang it up if Cook's coming.
I know.
Well, hang it up.
It's 2-seat. It's 2-seat. It ain't the same, but I mean, it's going to be. I mean, Steve's a heck of a talented builder. And tuner, and then you got the guys, out there at audio specialists up there that do. It's an audio specialist. I always forget the name. But anyways, the guys out there, Rob and those guys are going to come out and bring their cars down, and there's everybody. All these guys that have been doing 1-seat are reworking their cars and getting the stuff ready to go. And
I gotta tell you, I think 2-seat is cool and all that, right?
Yeah,
but I'm a 1-seat guy, and it's not because I'm not old school or whatever, but you have to make sacrifices. You got to sacrifice to make it sound good in both seats. And my ass is the only one in the car like 99% of the time. I paid for some bitch. I put all the blood, sweat, and tears in this damn car, so I wanted to sound good to me.
Well, you know how you fixed all that, right?
How you center seat?
You're supposed to sit in the center.
I guess I can still have the back seats for babies.
You split the difference. Split the seat in the center and have a back seat.
Hey, that's a great idea. Somebody should do that.
Yeah, right on.
No, but I love two-seat. I love two-seat. It's awesome. The challenge is fantastic.
Look, I don't think that one seat shouldn't exist, or that one seat's not important. I mean, for God bless, I've been sponsoring the biggest one seat money payout sound off for 6 years. So I mean seriously. But the big thing is that I want to welcome these guys back, and we need to have something for them to do, and there needs to be a place. If you want to see, like, you'll see at IASCA this year more high-end cars built than you've seen in a long time. And there's a reason, because there's going to be classes for us finally. There's going to be things that we've wanted for a long time. So don't get me wrong. I love everybody that does it. I love every way they attack it. I love whether it's one seat, two seat. I don't care. Center seat. It don't matter to me. But the fact is, I want to see things, start progressing back to the way they used to be, to where when we set our cars up, we had show car displays, and we took pride in our vehicles, not just to do the sound. And I ain't saying everybody did that. Trust me, everybody did not. But you don't see any cars like that anymore. And the reason is because they don't feel it ain't worth their time to bring their really expensive car out. Well, guess what? If you make it worth their time, then they will.
Yeah.
And dude, we want everybody. I want every single seat car, whether they built it under their shade tree or whether they paid somebody to build it. I want to see everybody that likes doing this do it. I mean, where else can you pay somebody to tell you how bad your stuff is?
Right.
Only in sound quality. But anyways, that's what I've been telling myself for 20 years. But hey,
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. I'm paying for feedback. All right, I'm paying for their time.
Yeah. So is that is that what it used to be in the old days, 2-seat, and it progressed to 1-seat, some kind of?
It was 2-seat back in the day, and that was really what it was. There was like, I think, one class maybe, or maybe some of the novice classes that were 1-seat, but back in the day everything was 2-seat. I mean, you tuned a car for both seats.
Was that? Is it always two judges in the car at the same time?
It was back then. I mean, nowadays sometimes they don't have enough judges, so they have to bounce it back and forth. But I can promise you that we'll have lots of judges at my show.
Is that why they switched it to 1-seat, because of the shortage of judges at a show, or just the necessary?
No, they switched it to one. I really, and there's a lot of theories. I can give you my 2 cents on it. I think, part of it. I mean, I guess I'll take some blame for building a center drive car and doing a 1-seat thing and making it, and so people didn't want to make a center drive car, but they're like, hey, 1-seat sounds cool. Let's do just everything from the driver's side. So maybe that was part of it, but I think it really all boils down to this. One seat. I'm not saying that 1-seat cars aren't worthy. What I'm saying is it's easier to make a car sound good from 1 seat than it is from 2. And as the numbers dwindled from 2-seat guys that didn't want to bring their big expensive show cars out, you have to attract younger people. You have to attract other people. And if you make it to where these guys have to spend $50,000, $60,000 to build a car, well, guess what? They're probably not likely to do that anymore. So, but 1-seat cars, you can build a heck of a good sounding 1-seat car for a couple $1,000. So it's easier to attract those guys, very much in the way that SPL grew from all of that. Because SPL didn't back then. SQ was what it was, and SPL was the sideshow. Now, obviously, the roles are reversed, and that's great. But it was also, SPL was born from the same mentality. You can go make a vehicle loud for a couple $1,000, And so, so I think that's where the 1-seat sound really grew from. The shortage of judges, no, I mean, that was never really.
I also think that's how Install and SQ got splintered. It's because you can make a car sound good without being like a talented installer or a fabricator or whatever.
Yeah, and that is, and that's part of the reason why. And they want they want to attract the younger crowd and a new crowd. And the only way you can do that is to have stuff where people can play and they can come and they can feel like they have a chance to win and can be competitive. And if you left it the way it was, it would have never been. It wouldn't have been, and it would have just gone away.
And I think a lot of people blame like dwindling attendance and to shows and stuff on the fact that cars look like shit now, and nobody takes pride in their work and blah blah blah. Well, but it's just splintered, right? Listen, I'll be the first to admit I'm not a talented fabricator, but I love sound quality. So, like, don't exclude me because I'm not as good as you. You know what I mean?
And you shouldn't at all.
Right.
And that's why I said I applaud what they have done. Because, there was a time where attendance has really dwindled, but you've seen over the last 2 years where it's not. I mean, finals has been up for both Mecca and IASCA the last 2 years. Our show has gotten bigger and bigger every year. So, you can't, there's something to be said for what is being done and how it's being done. So that part of it's working. So now if you can take that and join that with bringing and welcoming the old school guys back by having some stuff that's, more on their level, then now you go from 50 cars, 60 cars at finals to maybe 100 to 120 cars at finals. And now you really start to grow it back because guess what? Those guys are still around. Those guys, I mean, shoot, man, you be hanging around IASCA finals, you've seen all these old guys kicking it, hanging around with their buddies, and you're like, man, why don't you bring a car? Nah, I don't want to compete in it and run it. Right. But now there's going to be, and that's what you want. You want to bring everybody back because I think everybody should have a place to play. Everybody should have a place to run their car through. From the old school guys like Mickey Bronis and Gary Biggs and Todd Crowders and all those guys down to the guys like yourself and the guys that build their cars on their own. Yeah. Everybody should have a class where they can be competitive and they have a chance to win. And I think that's where it's going now. And it's good to see. I mean, IASCA's new rules. I mean, I know those guys at R&E spent a whole lot of time and a lot of effort on it, and they have done a fantastic job. It's nice to be able to come back. I ain't gonna lie. I was banned.
Were you really?
Well, I mean, they definitely made it to where I couldn't bring my car back unless I rebuilt it, and I wasn't going to. So I was definitely like me and I always joke with Mo that I'm banned, but it's nice. It's nice to be able to know I can bring it back, and I got a place I can run it. And the cool thing is, there's going to actually be people that run against it. I know that a buddy of mine out in California is building a pretty crazy vehicle. I know there's another buddy of mine that has this crazy van that he's done. There's going to be people building stuff, and that's fun. It's no fun to run against yourself all the time, and it's going to be a good thing. So I think that's the important part. So. Sorry, allergies. Wood chop disease. So.
Blowing on SPL dust. SQ dust.
Yeah, SQ dust.
SQ dust.
So just to clarify, because like I said, not everybody knows what the crap we're talking about. But Chris and Mobile Toys, they put on a show every year. It's part of the SQology tour, right?
Yeah.
And it's called Aggieland. He's in College Station, Texas. And every year they do an SQ only. There's no demos. There's no SPL. No SPL, no demos.
Hey, man, there's free food and drinks. And
beer.
Good sound and music.
All the damn Shiner Bock you can drink. Can you please get a keg of Coors Light this year, please? It's 1,000 degrees out there. I know you moved it this year, but it is way too hot to be drinking Shiner.
It won't be nearly as hot. It's only about 75 degrees in April. That's why we moved it to
April. Right. So we moved it to April. It used to be, June, right?
Yeah, beginning of June. I mean, just when it's hitting 100 degrees in Texas. Yeah. Now, we moved it back this year. And it actually worked out. I mean, unfortunately, timing-wise, it worked out with SBN being canceled this year. It actually kind of worked out. I ain't gonna lie, I was worried, not from our stance, but I didn't want to take away from that show because those guys are my friends.
Yeah, I had to choose. Like last year, I was gonna go. I had to choose one or the other.
So now with SBN canceled, we don't have to worry about it. And hopefully they regroup and put that show back together. But for now, for this year, definitely being such a good year, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a huge year. I mean, the response for the invitation for both rounds has been really good. So I mean, both rounds will sell out, and that's good.
So let me just lay it out. Let me lay it out for everybody. Look, it's in College Station, and Chris's shop shares it basically shares a parking lot with a hotel and a Buffalo Wild Wings. So it's a 2-day show. There's like $15,000 on the line. The most ridiculous sound quality cars like on the planet, really.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of show that can change your life. I'm not even kidding. Like it can change your entire car audio career.
You'll have competitors from Canada, from a ton from Mexico, and actually this year, to be honest with you, it's not in our parking lot. This is the first year we haven't had it in our parking lot. We rented the Expo Center parking lot.
God damn it!
We rented the Expo Center parking lot, and
B-dubs.
Instead of B-dubs, we're going to we are going to be catering. We probably will still cater. We'll probably cater B-dubs this year.
How far is it? How far is it from the shop now?
Some Asian zing.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Very far. Real close. And
they made a liar out of me. All right.
Yeah, we'll have maps and everything posted online, but it's a cool thing. We rented a 20 by 140 tent. You're going to drive through lanes just like you did back in the day. So there'll be a Mecca lane, there'll be an Iasca lane, there'll be 3 lanes for the round of 30 and 2 lanes for the round for the old school round, the $10,000 round. So you're going to drive through lanes just like they did back in the day. Everybody wants it to be old school, so we're going to make it old school. You're going to drive
so is it still a well, actually, now this year, is it a 4X? I don't know if
it is a 4X. That is, I think, it's official as of today. I believe that message came across my deal that we were going to do a 4X. So we have 4X Mecca show,
big name,
and a triple point Iasca event. So I mean, it's going to be, it's always been a key event, but it really will be a key event for you guys, especially the Mecca guys. I think that's a big thing for y'all this year. Y'all have to do a 4X.
Have to, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to do one. I think it's in the rules. So we wanted to make sure that it was worthwhile. I know that they're sending out some fantastic judges. I think the Papa Stans are coming out, and I think that Vinny's coming out, so which is good. So you got finals judges, which is good for our guys down here because a lot of those other guys out in California and on the East Coast area, they get those judges all the time, but we don't. Those guys don't generally come to Texas. So as Texas boys tend to be at a little bit of disadvantage, not knowing what those guys want. Now I think this will allow us Texas guys, us Oklahoma guys, to get those cars in front of those judges. So which is good. So
that is good.
I need to see some kind of SQ death match. Just play until system fails.
It's funny.
That would be the longest, most boring.
Somebody play some kind of Beethoven sonnet or something just for death.
It kind of another concept. It's funny. Clifton's show, his event in Atlanta, the other SQology event, it's actually taken on that format, sort of like that I wanted to do, and I pitched it to him, and it was funny because they picked up and ran with it last year, which I was super excited about. I didn't get to go. I'm going to go this year, but basically it's an NCAA tournament style match. So you got 2 brackets, or you got 2 brackets with 16 or 32 cars, and each car competes against each other. If you win, you move on to the next round.
I like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that.
So whoever ends up winning usually has to run their car like 6 times, or I don't remember how many it was, but you don't run it through once and you're done. You have to run that car 6 different times, or 7, whatever it ends up being. So whoever really wins on that event, you have ran that car down.
Hey, and last year there was Jeezy on the playlist, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, Jeezy's on the playlist for SQology.
And
it's on the playlist.
And there was some random ass crazy song that had 17 hertz.
Yeah, there is.
So all these SPL guys, they think they got the lows. They ain't got the lows. The SQ playlist had 17 hertz on it, cuz.
Yeah. Jeff Smith asked for the Jeezy on. I think he put the Jeezy on. I think it was his pick. So my boy.
Dude, I thought I was on the wrong playlist. I jumped on the SQology playlist for Aggieland on Spotify, and I think Jeezy was the first one. I was like, what the? I'm on the wrong. I typed something in wrong.
Get some.
And I mean, it's kind of been a plain normal music. I know my tracks that I added to it. I know that are for mine are I've got Thunderstruck on there. I was like, why would you put that track on there? I was like, look, if you can make this track sound good in your SQ car, then your car is going to sound good on everything else.
For real,
I promise you.
Absolutely.
Get some Swisher House in there.
Yeah. So
slab work.
So I gotta go. I got stuff I gotta go build.
Yeah,
yes,
we got to get out of here too, man. Look, we appreciate you stopping in, dude. So one of the question was, how the hell did you get Chris on here? Because his schedule is bananas. So we sincerely appreciate you stopping in.
Yes,
No,
sir.
man, I appreciate y'all having me on. If y'all ever need anything, give me a holler.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
100%. We'll see you this June at least, or April.
I'm gonna try to make it.
April.
Yeah. All right,
April
buddy.
27th. We'll see you
Yeah.
then. Take care.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Dude, that guy is a beast.
Yeah, it's nerd.
We didn't nearly get as many questions as we should have, but I'm going to tell you what, Chris is a monster.
Yeah.
And if anyone in the area can get out to Aggieland, it is a ridiculous show. I wasn't kidding when I said it could change your whole car audio life, because you hear some of these cars and you will realize what you've been missing in your own. You know what I mean?
Jordan, the show just starting, bro. Now we can be free, bro. I gotta get.
Now we can be free.
I gotta get the nerd off me. I'm joking.
Look, I like the viewers just shot up to double.
They're like, hold up,
Chris got
they ain't talking SQ no more.
Just kidding.
Hold up.
I love Chris. I've seen Chris the last 3 years in a row. The guy's a monster. He's super cool, and he gives me free beer. So why wouldn't you like this guy?
SQ.
It's fantastic.
It's an acquired taste.
Not so much.
Yeah,
if you
is.
like music,
Yes,
you
is.
like sound quality.
No, people like loud.
Hey,
SQ's
Paul.
not loud.
Paul Buchanan, I need you.
Tag him.
I need you to message one or both of the Munsons to come on. Actually, we had Chris on for a little while the other day.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get his daddy on, Nathan, but he's dodging me. So message him right now and tell him to come on the show.
He don't
I ain't trying to hear that.
He don't want the SPL God hints out there.
I mean, what the hell? We've been trying to get Nathan on, and you know what? I hate that we didn't get to ask him any like retailer specific questions. Like that was one of the things I was super interested in.
Yeah, I know.
We got one little install question in that I stole from you.
Yeah, you did. That was kind of mean.
Yeah, well,
no,
my
you did
bad.
that before too. You did that to somebody else, and I was mad.
I mean, that's kind of.
I can't tell you it from now on. That's what it is.
Right, you can't. We can't talk before the show.
Yeah, just go in blind. Just come
Right.
in with my notes.
Like I'm not telling you what I'm asking.
All right.
I mean, it's kind of how we do it anyway, right? Just wing it.
No, I'm glad I figured out how to like share my screen though without making it.
No,
stupid
for
looking.
sure. Yeah, that's clutch.
So-
We need to do that more often, because I know like every single person watching had no idea what I was talking about when I said the Center Street Civic.
Yeah, no, I showed it all, but yeah, but
Paul, I'm talking about Nathan, not Christopher. We had Christopher on the other day.
we've had the calf. Now we want the bull.
We want the bull.
That's gay, but
A little bit.
nothing wrong with gay, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Kendrick, man, I'm sorry we didn't get to Insomnia. I'm sorry. Golly, we should
Yeah, I
have.
know. I see.
Actually, Kendrick, I'm gonna. You know what? Do we have? You got to get out of here. Do we have 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, or just save it, you know. Either way, we got.
Let's save it. Let's save it.
No, but I
Oh
know
my God.
he posted the.
Rob said he's the Skippo one of 12 volt top. That's not true.
Nah, you're smarter than that.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I just got nothing to add ever when it's SQ talk. I wanted to bring up PA stuff because that's like I wanted to hear his opinion on like the street battles or whatever.
Or at least PA stuff in general. You know, can you make it sound good? Can you do anything with it? What's the frequency response like? But you know what? If you go on the groups, they're gonna tell you PA stuff can sound great. Like a lot. I shit you not. One of the most recommended drivers for a mid range is the Fatal Pro, like 3 or 4 inch. Mm-hmm. Like the SQ guys love that. Yeah. Love that thing.
They just get mixed up with like there's pro audio and then there's like car audio pro audio, you know?
Well, most car audio pro audio is garbage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So
like it's just chaos.
Yeah, it's just basically what they do for car audio pro audio, and you guys know what I'm talking about.
Bump up the sensitivity or whatever.
Yeah, they just make a lightweight, strong motor, and it just sounds like garbage. It just it gets loud.
Yeah.
But it sounds like garbage.
It sounds like I had some before. It's like it doesn't sound alive, you know.
It's
like,
so shouty and horrible.
It's like it's hollow.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's stupid loud, but
I mean, if y'all keep doing these distance tests, and that's the only like judge of what it sounds
That's
like.
awesome.
Listen.
No, but
All of y'all have thousands and thousands of dollars into your system. Please, please, please. $150 will buy you one of the best processors on the planet. $150, man. And listen, a microphone for an RTA is like $80, and the software is free. So, it blows my mind that you will, that some of you guys will spend like $1,000 per door and not have these tools at your disposal, or go to someone to tune it that has these tools at their disposal. Like, the other thing is, I see people spending $1,000 per door on fab work and then put like $15 speakers in it. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Nothing's wrong with Eminence speakers. Chill out.
Hey, no, there's nothing wrong with Eminence.
No, but
speakers.
some of them legit top guys in those street battles do that. Like, man, I mean, it's still a video, but man, if you listen to like that, who is it? Cam Johnson. Oh, if you go over to Doors for Days, thing. Some other guy from Houston too was like stupid loud with some crescendo ones, and it sounded like it's all about what you play too. Like if you play that, just nonsense radio music versus a good R&B song or a good, it all sounds good. I just like loud. I like loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna beat you to death just for saying loud and clear.
It's what is the difference?
Christopher Munson just joined the chat. Tell your daddy to come into the damn.
He's been in there.
Tell your daddy to come on the show.
Zen,
we want to talk to him.
Zen, get some guys that are legit, like top of the game in street battles, and I seriously want one of them on.
Kyle Wardell.
Nah, I don't like him.
He's not top. He's a bad mofo.
Nah, he is, yeah, but he's local, and like I don't like to put on local people.
Yeah, I feel like it is a little.
I mean,
biased.
I want the Hellboy. You don't know him. Zen, get the Hellboy.
I don't know any of these people because I don't care. I'm not trying to. I want. Music is for me when I'm riding in the car. I'm not trying to entertain somebody 1,000 feet away or the whole ball field or whatever.
No, I like that.
I mean, it's cool.
No, I mean,
I appreciate. I legitimately appreciate the work that goes into these uptown.
Yeah.
Setups, but
I hate the sound. I hate the word of that. I'm not calling it.
What do you want me to call it?
No, I mean that's what it's called, but I'm not calling it that ever. I'm not giving him a satisfaction of calling it.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to call it.
Yeah, Nathan definitely needs his own show. We just needed in his ear.
Yeah. We're trying to goad him into doing it, Jordan. We're just, he's dodging me in my messages, so you guys have to tag him.
I mean, some people go crazy with the PA stuff, but like, I don't know. I just like it's just louder. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't like I know ad nauseum. I have posted the equal loudness contour. Like at a certain level, everything just becomes a hot mess. Like there's no frequency separation. There's no nothing. It's just like and it's an assault on the senses. And like if you're gonna assault my senses, do it one at a time.
I love like my ears buzzing when I shut my truck
off.
Oh my god, it's the best feeling.
That is so
odd. From 80s music, like playing like Take Me On or whatever.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Like I love that.
You know what's funny is I would probably rather listen to Take Me On a PA system than listen to the garbage that Brad Knobloch listens to in his most ridiculously beautiful sound. He listens to like that.
Oh gosh! Oh gosh!
Oh, I hate that.
Like rage metal or something.
Whatever it is. Oh my god! I'm like, what are they? Is that words? It's like worse than mumble rap.
Dude, we wanted the Death Bounce guy, but he said his English ain't too good.
That's true. We did reach out to Vladimir, and he said his English is not so great.
Yeah. That's crazy about the Spring Bay Nationals. I mean, that has to be one of the longest running shows, and it's just,
dude, huge.
That's it. I hated it when they stopped I used to look forward to all the demo vids that would come out of there that we posted on the forums, before Facebook. Like, they used to just be the best time of my life. the week after somebody just released all the sick.
Hey, I'll tell you who did a good job this week or last was Hunter Martin, dude.
Yeah.
From CES, Steve Barber's show. Holy, it's a violent ass shit.
Yeah, Hunter Martin. Yeah. The bully.
The bully goat.
Yeah.
Man, we might need to get him back on and talk about
without Drew.
Without Drew.
I mean, isn't it always better without Drew?
I'm just saying.
His wife would say so.
Bang, 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 bang.
Relay that message, Jordan. Get you the F out of here.
Oh my God. Wow.
Did she go? That was a dude. Steve Duncan, he must be just pulling his hair out right now.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that ride with that?
Skateboarding on the rails. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Rob, but I used to skateboard. Like, that was a part of my life every day. I went from skateboarding to golf to car audio, and was almost okay at all of them.
That's what
Chris Kendrick, you want us to get Chris Munson back on here?
Yeah.
Man, that guy, he doesn't have time to get on here. He's the hardest working man in SPL.
Yeah. What? Oh, somebody was skateboarding on the rails, got SBN banned from
what? Get the hell out. Skateboarding is not a crime.
Yeah. What is it? A bunch of fascists. What does that have to do with Spring Break Nationals?
Dude, we need to do we have to do like a buddy show with Big D and Rob. I know we already had Big D on, but this was like pre 12-volt talk days.
Yeah. It was like the week before.
Yeah. They
funny how that worked out.
Funny, it was a strange coincidence.
Chris.
We did. Yeah, we gotta get Chris back on here.
Yeah. Oh, throwing empty. Yeah, we do. I would like an all Munson show. That'd be fun. Both of them.
That would be fun. Like, we could have his dad like embarrassing him with
that's
funny stories.
Yeah. Funny fat Chris stories.
Yep. And then Chris could embarrass his dad with Fat Nathan stories.
Yeah. I never seen Fat Nathan. Somebody post a picture.
So he was large person.
I loved Fat Chris.
He was a large person.
Fat Chris with the Phoenix Golds coming in hot on Southern Sound Off.
Coming in hot. And look, T-Fade usually gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, the fuck out of here with that shit.
60s with it.
410s doing 69. Get out of here.
Yeah, how's the new Amper sub? You want to talk about that a little bit?
I guess we can.
Yeah.
I mean, like I basically said everything I need to say on the video that none of you have watched, obviously. But the thing is, it's a sexy sub, and it I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys kept up with the DSS drama, but it was actually the Encore is a sub that I started out to make. So it won't be at the price point that I wanted, but
why?
I mean, it's just
why, Andrew? Why won't it be?
No, it's just,
greedy.
It's just going to cost a little more to make than hoped, because they're gonna be hand built here in the U.S. and I mean, we'll probably wind up. Well, I say Andrew will probably wind up rating the thing around 2,500 RMS. So you're talking about a 17-pound, 2,500 watt music monster. I mean, I don't know where else you can find that. So it'll wind up. I'm not going to speculate on the price, but it's a from the week that I spent with it. It's a ridiculous super linear. Gets low. I'm not gonna say it gets loud because it's definitely not an SPL sub like I said in the video, but you know it's probably on par with a really good 3-inch coil ferrite.
Greg Miller in the building.
Greg Miller. What? They just dropping bombs.
Yeah. Just jump out the window and yell tantric. Appreciate that.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Neo
Yeah.
magazine.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a beautiful, beautiful sub.
Is Neo the future?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Is it ever gonna get cheaper though, or it's where it beats ferrite?
no, ferrite is just
King.
way.
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so cheap. Like, just I'm not gonna say like exactly how much slugs cost. I'm not gonna put all the sub manufacturers out there like that. But so let's just say a ferrite slug or a Neo slug.
Just get up, bring out the price point.
A Neo slug is probably 6 to 7.
That's Honda part numbers.
6 to 7 up to 10 times the cost of a ferrite slug. So, like for even comparable motor force. So that's why Neo is more expensive, unfortunately. It also is crazy small and lightweight. My thing was back in the day when we were talking about the Savage and the Encores, why are Neo subs so heavy still, right? You're using like this much magnet,
right?
Like this much.
Right.
But you have to have all that steel in a radial design, which is everybody has a radial design. So we had to come up with something else because you still have to have steel.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that cobalt thing?
Cobalt is a great alternative. I don't know why more people don't explore it. Cobalt doesn't demagnetize at a higher temperature. What is it called? A Curie temp. Neo does not dissipate heat. I mean, it doesn't dissipate heat at all, really. But yeah, ferrite. I'm gonna y'all gonna kill me on these numbers, but yeah, ferrite's like, I don't know, 800 or 900 degrees or something retarded, and Neo's like 300 or 400. But I mean, if your Neo slugs are getting that much temperature, your coil's probably toasted by then.
You got a
look at Kendrick. He's dropping some hints. 33s.
That's silly.
That is silly. How many Kendrick? How many?
Yeah, he posted a video, I think.
Did he?
Yeah. It's like the freaking Mythbusters thing in that car. That 33-inch.
Yeah, right.
It's just a big inner tube.
I know.
That's
crazy.
Insane.
What are y'all talking about? Of course, Neo's for demos.
Yeah, he just said it was.
Way longer cool off times than versus Neo. People who run Neo have way longer cool off times versus Neo. I'm not sure which one he was.
Two 33s and a C pillar.
Good Lord, have mercy.
That's crazy.
If that thing is not ready by Aggieland, you and me gonna fight.
I couldn't even haul that in my SUV. I had to put it on the roof. That's insane. Then you had a 24 or 21 in a CRX.
What was it? 21? Yeah, I had a 21.
Yeah,
that thing was retarded.
Yeah, there's a video on my channel.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to pee. So we either gotta sign off, or you're gonna have to interact with the chat until I get back.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off.
All right. Well,
People's wasn't hot today, bro. They wasn't feeling it.
We appreciate y'all signing in.
Yeah.
Tuning in, interacting with us. I mean, they had to sign in to Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, true. I mean, do you sign out?
Let's get out of here.
All right. Wait. Let me do it.
Keep
doing the peace sign.
Okay. Freeze frame.
You gotta keep doing it. Just keep doing it until it's awkward, and I don't end it ever.
I keep doing it.
All right, I ended it. Dude, that was weird. That might be I think we're off. Yeah, that might be the lowest